So we are at that time of the year when the corporate rolls out for another movie year, and we get ready for a new one. So my job here today is to list 5 of the most anticipated movies coming out for the next movie year 2026. Now the order of those might be a little random, but just follow along this movie closely to catch the title of those 5 movies. We start with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, the follow-up to the Super Mario movie from 2023. That was a movie that was generally successful here. Both Chris Pratt, but especially Jack Black as Donkey Kong, was lauded for their voice acting. But of course, some reacted that Peach was more powerful than she was in the games. Nevertheless, it was a quite funny movie, not meant to be taken seriously. And what we see from the trailer, it seems like a cool new adventure that we are ready for once it comes out at the start of April. In many people's book, and in my own book, this has to be perhaps the most anticipated of the whole next movie year, namely the Odyssey. How do you follow a movie about an atomic bomb? Well, maybe you do an historic epic about the Greek god. The cast Christopher Nolan has on display here is simply extreme, with both Matt Damon, John Bernthal, and Robert Pattinson among the names. So next summer we will be ready for a Greek adventure, surely with a lot of violence, tension, and hopefully a lot of good acting. I feel personally, and in addition to many others, that this might be a fiery candidate to win the Oscar for Best Picture on the awards in 2027. And be sure to look out at your cinema the 17th of July next year when this is supposed to be released. So, we really do not know too much about this next movie on the list, called Avengers Doomsday, as it does not even have a plot, but we know that Robert Downey Jr. will do a role as Doctor Doom. That surely has all the ingredients to be great. Now the last one, Infinity War, I feel a lot of people can agree that it was a quite slow movie, that was so dragged out, it was a huge disappointment. Hopefully, this one will be better, and while Marvel has been a bit up and down with the movies lately, I feel Captain America, A Brave New World, for example, from earlier this year was a return to form. As I said, we do not know too much about it, it doesn't even have a plot yet, but it will be interesting to see the Avengers back on the big stage, and if it all goes well, we can watch this movie about a year from now in December 2026. About the same week as the new Avengers movie is set to come out, this movie Dune Part 3 is scheduled to be released. Originally, this movie was meant to be called Dune Messiah, but whatever the name change, it will be the last movie in the Dune franchise from Denis Villeneuve. Despite not being too thrilled for the first 2 movies personally, I feel this last movie might be bringing a huge battle to the table, and it might be a tense conclusion. I still feel the 1984 version with David Lynch is better, but as a standalone movie, I feel the third movie from Dennis in this franchise might be a whole lot better than the first 2. That may just serve as a double build-up for the final movie. The last of the best here will go to a quite interesting movie that may not be on every radar, called Peaky Blinders: The Immortal Man. You all remember Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders, right? One of the shows that a lot of people has on their list of the best shows in the world, or fucking Peaky Blinders from Birmingham. This movie will continue the story of the best character in the show, where he once again has to deal with shifting alliances and reshape himself to a new world. With Rebecca Ferguson added to the cast, this might be a very interesting movie, where Stephen Knight once again is the writer, and it is set to come out already in March next year. That was the list of the 5 most anticipated movies, guys. And I will also mention the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out in May, so nobody can criticize me for not even mentioning it. Anyways, if you have a comment on a movie I may have forgot, or have a different list of anticipated movies in 2026, drop a comment below.